Heat Safety Awareness Week. So as we head into those warmer and hotter months, always good to start thinking ahead of time about how you can stay safe in the heat. Obviously, we'll have a lot of these tips when it does get hot outside, but why not prepare in advance? So on a hot day, make sure if you are and have to be outside to take frequent breaks, stay hydrated with water or Gatorade, a drink like that, Powerade. Find some shade from time to time. Avoid caffeine and alcohol. You'll also want to limit outdoor activity. Any type of strenuous activity should be limited on those really hot and humid days. Light and loose clothing, so light colored, like white, for example, loose fitting clothing. Keep your pets cool. Also remember your kids as well. Never, ever keep kids or pets in a locked vehicle. So if you're headed to the store, don't leave them in a locked vehicle that's turned off. And make sure you take a cool down soak if you need to as well. So here is a look at some of the heat dangers. What's the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke? So if you see somebody exhibiting these signs, know how to differentiate between the two. With heat exhaustion, you may be feeling faint or dizzy. It's a throbbing headache with heat stroke. Excessive sweating for heat exhaustion. You won't even sweat at all for someone with heat stroke. The skin is cool, pale, clammy with heat exhaustion. It's going to be red, hot, and dry for heat stroke. Both you would exhibit nausea and vomiting, somebody would. You have a rapid, weak pulse with heat exhaustion, a rapid, strong pulse with heat stroke, and finally could be some muscle cramps with heat exhaustion and may even lose consciousness with heat stroke. So if you know somebody exhibiting either of these symptoms, heat exhaustion is make sure you're going to a cool air-conditioned place or take that person there. Tell them to drink water if they're conscious, take a cool shower or a cold compress. But if you know somebody exhibiting heat stroke, call 911 immediately. That is the most serious of the heat-related illness. And remember, really it goes back and forth between flooding and heat, but oftentimes heat is the #1 related illness, weather-related illness or even death in the United States. So be very careful there. And so when we have these heat-related concerns, a heat advisory is issued. And notice the different criteria. It's obviously the threshold is going to be a lot lower farther south, or farther north rather, than farther south, where it's not as bad. They're used to the heat there. But if we get a heat index that is at or above 100 degrees locally, you'll notice a heat advisory issued. An excessive heat warning is issued when the heat index is expected to reach 105 degrees or higher. So those are some tips to help you stay safe this summer when we get those really hot days.